Hey, welcome, February 3rd, 2020. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. They did it again. They went into the Super Bowl as underdogs and came out victorious. They did that to Vikings back in the day. They were huge underdogs back in the day, and they won. And I think yesterday it wasn't as much of an underdog, but they were still the underdog. And boom, they came through down by 10 in the fourth quarter, pulled it out. Um, I was kind of happy for Reed, Coach Reed. You know, he's been around for a long time and has been close many times, and I think he's a good coach. You know, he's never in any controversy, and so congratulations to Coach Reed and all of the Chiefs. I mean, it must be incredible to finally get over the hump and get that win and be champs. And I didn't realize the Chiefs have not been in the Super Bowl for 50 years, which my Vikings are getting pretty close to that time frame because we last time we were in the Super Bowl it was like 1976, I want to say, which that's close, very close. Uh, how about this year? How about let's get in the Super Bowl this year and win it this year? That'd be nice. Um, Now we can focus on off season. Who's going to stay? Who's going to be get released? Who's going to retire? You know, you name it. It's there's no football, but there's still a lot of excitement. I always enjoy uh, sort of March rolling into April. I love the draft. I love to see who we're going to bring in as players that I'm going to root for on my team. You know, so I'm hoping that as a Vikings fan, we shore up the middle of the offensive line. I think that's where we were the weakest. I think that's where we need help. Um, if we can solidify that part of our team, I think that's gonna go do us justice. And investing in an offensive lineman is a very good investment. Um, they generally stay around for a long time unless they play bad. They don't get hurt. You know, it's not like I mean they get hurt, but it's not like they can blow out a knee and like a running back who's getting pounded every day, who's cutting and bobbing and weaving. You know, linemen you can usually you know have them around for a while. You know, like 5 or 6 years if they're a good player. And not lose them to injury because their ankle or their shoulder or a concussion. I mean, it happens, but generally speaking, it's not as bad as the skilled players who are out there running really hard and uh, you know hitting all the time. So I'm hoping that the ownership, Spielman, and all that, all those guys look at the offensive line and let's get that up to speed because I think if we do that and Kirk comes back just a little bit better than he played this year, he's certainly improved from year one to year two, and hopefully going into this third year, he can get us over the top. And we won that beautiful playoff game against the Saints, away, hostile environment. So, you got to be pretty optimistic that they can get it done. And why not us? The Chiefs won a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was. The Eagles got there first, and let's hope that my Vikings can get there and finally win. Win the big one. We need to win the big one. As far as the draft, I don't know. Who's on the radar. I know it's still a little early, but it's never too early to start thinking about who you can bring on a team. I'm always, if I'm a GM, I'm always looking for a franchise quarterback. And if I can uh, find a quarterback that I think could be, you know, a potential franchise quarterback, I'm taking him. I mean, Brady has been the example. I mean, he was a 6th round draft pick. You know, you know what I mean. So it doesn't have to be a first rounder to be a franchise quarterback. I mean, he turned out to be one of the greatest ever. So if you see someone that has any kind of a potential to be a franchise quarterback, get him. Get him. Let's it's a quarterback driven league. I know Coach Zimmer likes cornerbacks, but cornerbacks don't generally get you into the Super Bowl. Sure, you need a good cornerback, but you also need a good linebacker, and you need a good safety, and you need good tight end and receiver. And speaking of receivers, it sounds like Diggs might be on a trading block, and I think it's what he wants. If action speaks louder than words, I mean, he's been showing that he doesn't really want to be here. He's missing practices. He's pouting on the sidelines. I mean, if he wants to go, I would say let him go. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean, that's what he wants. He's given us, a play of a lifetime with the Minneapolis Miracle. So give him what he wants. If he wants to go back east with the Washington Redskins, fine. Let's trade him for that guard there, right? Sheriff or Sharif or I really can't remember his name, but I know that he's very good and he was a 1st-round talent, and maybe that's what we can do. Get a nice guard for Diggsy. If he wants to go. I mean, I'm not pushing him out the door, but if he doesn't want to stay here, fine. Good luck. You know what I mean? We want people that first want to be here and then want to perform. And that's how it works. Again, congratulations to the Chiefs. Great game. They pulled it out. It's not like you can't say that they're not fighters, because they fought right to the end and came away with the win. And as far as Garoppolo, I think he's not Brady. Close, but he's not Brady. Brady, on his first Super Bowl trip, he brought his team back in the last minute or two, and I think Garoppolo had that opportunity and couldn't get it done. So, that's what you're judged by as a quarterback. So, but San Fran had a good year. Both the Chiefs and 49ers beat us during the regular season. So, not much you can say there. In closing, let's hope for a solid free agency. Let's hope for a solid draft. Let's find some diamonds in the rough, and let's get it this year. I mean, this is our year. There you go. I said it. Okay, this is our year. Skull.